Okay, so if you want sales on the internet, then you need to start by getting attention, connection, trust before you get credit card numbers, right? So we tried everything over the course of our 20s and early 30s as a marketing agency. And so when nothing was going well, when nothing was predictable and consistent and everything's really hard, and we can't afford to have customers who only pay us once before dropping off and finding a new guru, then that's where we decided instead of making ourselves better at marketing, how do we make ourselves more, how do we make our clients more marketable?
Right. So that's where we just started. Like, since we were 16, we were studying marketing. We were testing things all through our 20s. By the late 20s, we're like, fuck this. Like, how do we just figure out how to make a repeatable system so that we don't have to work so hard? Right. And so that's where we were just like looking at the infamous cult brands and more on like the human psychology. Like, how do humans even make decisions? Right. And so that's the number one thing that we put our attention towards. Fuck marketing. Let's just figure out the human brain.
So once we understood how 95% of human brain power is subconscious. So we think that we're making logical decisions when really we know that we buy on emotion, we justify with logic. So what that really means is the subconscious has an instruction manual for how to operate, how to live, what to believe, what to buy, what to wear, and all these things that make up our identity. So once we realized in neuroscience, the identity is really the instruction manual behind how we operate. And if we can crack that, if we can align with our identity, then we can show similarity.
Then marketing is easy, right? Because people already feel like they belong to something. And there's nothing that the human brain wants more than belonging.
If there's no identity overlap, then they're just going to scroll on by because they're like, this doesn't make sense for me. The subconscious brain doesn't have time to put everything to the conscious brain. So they're like, not relevant, filter it out. They keep swiping, they keep scrolling, and then you don't get any sales. So if we can align with their identity, then the subconscious says, hey, this is relevant for me. And then you have a chance to actually pitch them. Because people make up their mind about a brand in the first 50 milliseconds. So you don't have time to optimize your headlines and your copy or your funnel structure or your offer. None of that matters if you don't have similarity at the brand level, if they don't think this is relevant for me. So if you can get similarity, then you can enter their subconscious brain. You can show how we are the same, and therefore similar people do similar things. People like us do things this way. So then they're going to pay attention to your offer and how it's different than everything else. So that's how you can get sales in the first place. Align your brand identity. Align your brand identity with the customer identity, and then you've got similarity enough to say people like us do it like this, so they're gonna at least increase the chances of them buying.
It's a scroll stopper at least. They're like, this is for me. But then once you have that identity overlap on the front end, a way for them to self-identify and be like, oh yeah, this is me, this is where I belong, then you can start to move them through. That's how you get them into your world. That's how you get them into your sales page. And then once you have them, you have the sale, then we take that identity one step further, right? Identity is still how we make decisions. It's how we dictate behavior. And so when we give them a new identity,
if you can read that,
then that means we get to control the behavior. We get to say, oh, over 40 alphas do it this way, right? So we can alienate everyone else, every other method on the internet and say, people like us do it this way. And because we've created that new identity, we get to dictate what those behaviors are, what those beliefs are, what those values are, and start to imprint them through the product experience, right? So then the whole product experience becomes a new identity. It becomes an identity shift. So this is where we give them status. This is something that humans want more than money, is an increase in status. Everything that we do, from like the fancy cars to the rollies, is just a way to show that we have higher status in this social hierarchy. And so if you can have your product experience as a identity shift, where you take them from who they were to who they want to be, freaking game changer. And that way you get to dictate the behaviors and you get to set the standards for what we do.
So we know people are built for tribalism. We're built to belong. We're built to find people who are similar to us and belong to those groups. And now people are doing this at a brand level. We're becoming less religiously and politically affiliated, less community involvement, more technology. So people are looking for brands to understand their identity and how to express that. And so that's where when our product can take them into a new identity, and then our community, we can intensify this identity so that we create more and more similarity in the group. then people, the more they feel connection to the other members, the more they're going to want to stick around, engage, get marketable results. And that's how you really get brand loyalty and a strong community. Like once people feel that their identity is a part of the brand identity, it just becomes who they are, then that's when they're going to, it just makes sense for them to buy other products that you put out, because people like us buy things like this. So they're going to buy more of your stuff. They're going to be willing to pay more for it. You're going to get brand loyalty. You're going to get free referrals. You're going to get community support leaders. Like that's why cult brands are worth more, is because they get better customers who are willing to pay more and stay for life. So they're like 300% higher LTV in general. But that is the main secret of these 8-figure cult brands who seemingly have people who want to throw their hard-earned money at them, even without advertising. It's because they speak to their identity. Like Harley Davidson allows bad boys, even if they're a teacher, an accountant, a kindergarten teacher, they can still harness that inner bad boy just by buying a Harley Davidson. So they don't try to sell motorcycles, they sell
freedom,
identity,
liberation.
So there's many ways that you can come at it. It just depends on what identity you share with your perfect customer. And the more you can lean into that, give them a new identity to say, this is who we are as a customer collective, your customer cult, and you can keep intensifying similarity, then they're just going to feel like the brand is part of their identity and they're going to stick around for life. So that is the secret that we found behind cult branding. But it's not just the brand level, not just the product, the community. It's we found 27 different ways to assign and indoctrinate and intensify this identity. So on the brand level, we found 11 secrets, 11 things you can implement to create that similarity. On the product side, 6 different secrets, all neuroscience, to indoctrinate them into the new identity. And then the community, 10 different secrets to intensify that identity so you can create more and more similarity, more and more brand loyalty, and sell more shit on the internet and have customers for life. So if you want to figure out all those 27 secrets and how to sell more stuff and attract better customers who pay and stay for life, then we've got the Brand Washing Secrets book for you. And you can start implementing these things and growing your business from the inside out.
And it's literally a step-by-step playbook. It's exactly what we did after getting this award right here. After we got that, then Funk said, you need to document exactly what you did to turn my failing, shut down membership into a 2 Comma Club 7-figure membership site in 2 years. With Brucey getting a tattoo in just 112 days into the program. And so we flew to Colombia, we spent 3 months documenting every process, and it's literally step by step. Do these 11 steps in a row, you get the brand, the identity, so you can get the right customers through the door. These 6 pieces will indoctrinate them into the new identity and continue the behavior. And then the last 10 will intensify that behavior so that you have this brotherhood effect. So that people become, there's offline friendships, they become free customer support advocates. They're buying all the merch, they're pulling out more products from you. There's 4 revenue streams that just naturally spin off from this. And so it's literally a step-by-step. It's how we build our cult brands. And we just want to make it easy. So if you go to customercults.com/brandwashing, it's $1 a secret right now. So check that out. If you're selling products on the internet, just make it easy.
All right. 2024 is the year of the cult brands. So go build your cult.
How long? 8.5.